The day I drove up to scatter my grandfather's ashes, I found a neighborhood standing where my forest used to be. 96 houses, driveways, streetlights, families unpacking boxes on land I owned. The HOA president called me a trespasser. I just smiled because she had no idea what I was about to do. My grandfather, William Flint, was the kind of man who built everything with his own hands and never trusted banks or promises. He bought 47 acres of Colorado forest in 1971, paid $8,200 cash, wrote the receipt in pencil, and sealed it inside a leather folder that smelled like pipe tobacco. When he died, that folder came to me, along with a single note. Don't let the bastards take what's yours. I loved that land. But life has a way of burying good intentions. Divorce, college tuitions, long work weeks, I told myself I'd visit next year. Then another. Still, every April, I paid the $6,400 property tax always on time. Like clockwork, I'd picture the forest in spring, the creek, the scent of pine. The silence Grandpa used to say was worth more than gold. 3 summers passed before I finally took a week off to scatter his ashes and see the property again. I loaded the old Silverado and started driving north, completely unaware that by the time I got there, his forest would be gone. It started as a gut feeling, something wrong with the horizon. Where the dark line of pine trees should have been, I saw rooftops, dozens of them. At first, I thought I'd taken the wrong turn off Highway 36, but the GPS said otherwise. Same coordinates, same land. Only now it had a stone sign reading Ridgeline Heights, a Whitmore luxury community. My jaw locked. The gravel road I'd driven since childhood was paved smooth, lined with streetlights. Kids played on driveways. Moving vans blocked cul-de-sacs. At the gate, a security guard stopped me. Residents only. I own this land, I said, holding up my phone with the deed photo. He smirked. Sure you do, buddy. And I'm Elon Musk. Then a white Range Rover rolled up. Out stepped Cassandra Whitmore, mid-50s, flawless hair, gold watch, and the kind of smile that's all teeth and no warmth. Problem, Ray? She asked her guard. He claims he owns the development. Cassandra looked me over, work boots, oil-stained jacket, and laughed softly. Sweetheart, if you're looking for work, our crews are full. I'm not looking for work, I said. I'm the legal owner. Her eyes sharpened. Oh, you're that guy. The one whose paperwork vanished? I didn't understand what she meant yet, but I would. And when I did, she'd wish she'd never spoken to me. Cassandra's confidence filled the space like perfume. Our title company verified the land was abandoned, she said. 3 years with no activity. Colorado law calls that adverse possession. Which means nothing, I interrupted. If taxes were paid. Her smile froze for half a heartbeat. Adorable, she said. You know just enough law to be dangerous. Then she handed me a business card like it was contaminated. Our attorney, Brian Keir. Call him before you embarrass yourself further. I asked how many houses were sold. All 96. 16 million in pre-sales. Families are moving in by Thanksgiving. She snapped a picture of my license plate. And if you come back, I'll have the sheriff arrest you for trespassing. She walked away before I could speak. That night, I didn't sleep. I spread Grandpa's ledgers and tax receipts across the kitchen table, the same documents Cassandra thought didn't exist. The smell of tobacco and dust filled the air. They'd called me a squatter, threatened me, tried to bury me under arrogance and money. But that night I made a promise. I wasn't going to fight them head on. I was going to bury them with paperwork. Monday morning, I called Keir's office. His assistant offered me $15,000 if I'd sign a quitclaim deed and walk away peacefully. That was their first mistake. I found Lydia Chen, a property attorney with a reputation for turning corporate developers into confetti. Her office smelled like old leather and lemon polish. She listened quietly while I told her everything. When I finished, she tapped the deed once and said, "You could file an injunction today and stop construction." Good, I said. Let's do it. No, she replied. Let them finish, I blinked. Let them finish? If you stop it now, she explained, they'll declare bankruptcy. The land will be stuck in court for years. But if you wait until they finish, those houses will legally belong to you. My throat went dry. You're saying... Let them build a neighborhood on my land? Exactly, she smiled. They're building your assets for free. It sounded insane. But Lydia's calmness made it feel like genius. She slid a contract across the desk. I'll handle the legal prep. You handle patience. And remember, don't warn them. Surprise is our greatest weapon. From that day forward, I became a ghost with a camera. Twice a week, I parked outside Ridgeline Heights, recording every delivery, every construction milestone, every new mailbox they installed on my property. Cassandra noticed me after 3 weeks. She made a phone call. 20 minutes later, a sheriff's cruiser pulled up behind my truck. Sir, the deputy said, Mrs. Whitmore reports you're harassing her. I'm documenting construction on land I own, I replied, handing him the parcel number. He looked uneasy. If she calls again, I'll have to act. Translation, she donates to his campaign. I don't. Then came the code violation letters. False complaints about illegal dumping, hazardous waste, even abandoned vehicles. Every time inspectors came, they found nothing, except more evidence she was lying. By November, the first families moved in. Kids on scooters, dogs barking, porch lights glowing. I should have been furious. Instead, I felt pity. They'd bought into a dream built on stolen ground, and every hammer strike, every moving truck, every light turned on was another nail in Cassandra's coffin. Let them build, I told myself. Because when they're done, I'll own every brick. By January, construction was complete. 96 homes, perfectly staged for the American dream. Lydia filed the lawsuit the next morning. When the hearing came, Cassandra and her husband Preston Whitmore sat smug at the defense table, flanked by expensive lawyers. Judge Ramirez entered. Counsel, you filed a motion to dismiss? Their lawyer nodded. Your Honor, Mr. Flint abandoned the property. Did he pay property taxes? She interrupted. The lawyer hesitated. Well, yes, but then your claim is void. Lydia rose, cool as winter. Your Honor, the defendants knew Mr. Flint owned the land. We submit Exhibit A. She handed over a printed email, an internal message from Preston to Cassandra. It read, Flint still owns it. He's been paying taxes, but if we move fast, file the claim, and sell before he notices, we can bury him in legal fees. The courtroom went silent. Judge Ramirez looked up, furious. Did you know about this? Their lawyer stammered. Preston's face drained white. Motion to dismiss denied, the judge said. Effective immediately, Whitmore Development will cease all sales. And Mrs. Whitmore, post one more Facebook lie and I'll hold you in contempt. Outside the courthouse, Lydia smiled. We just detonated a bomb. She was right. Within a week, the title company turned over records proving the Whitmores bribed county officials to push permits. It wasn't just fraud, it was criminal. The final ruling came 6 weeks later. I sat in the same courtroom, same suit. Same heartbeat pounding in my ears. Judge Ramirez read from her decision. The defendants engaged in a calculated scheme to defraud Mr. Flint. Ownership of all 47 acres, including 96 completed homes, is hereby returned to the plaintiff. Just like that, I owned an entire neighborhood. The Whitmores lost everything: cars, company, reputation. Cassandra was banned from real estate for life. But I couldn't celebrate. 40-plus families lived on that land. Teachers, electricians, parents who'd just wanted homes. They weren't the enemy, so I called a meeting. In the unfinished community clubhouse, I told them, I'm not here to take your homes. I'm here to make sure you keep them. Gasps, silence, then tears. I created the Ridgeline Heights Community Trust. Each family kept their home at cost, mortgage-free. The rest of the funds built scholarships and community maintenance. When I handed over the final papers, a woman hugged me and whispered, You saved us. I thought of Grandpa's note, Don't let the bastards take what's yours. He didn't mean land. He meant dignity. It's been a year since then. I built a small cabin on the North Ridge, the last untouched piece of forest. Every morning I wake to pine, sunlight, and quiet. The same peace my grandfather once found here. People call what I did revenge. I call it justice with receipts, because in the end, power isn't about money or lawsuits. It's about refusing to be bullied into silence. So if you've ever been pushed around by an HOA, a boss, or anyone who thought they could buy what's right, remember my story. Document everything. Stay patient, and let them dig their own hole. If this story reminded you that good people can still win, hit that subscribe button. Because next week I'll tell you how the city tried to deny my business permit until I found the one bylaw that made me untouchable. And remember, keep your receipts. All of them.